With us to discuss exiled daughter of Fidel Castro and author Alina Fernández, and she's also the author of Castro's Daughter. Also with us, the host of the Alex Marlow Show, author of Breaking the Law, Alex Marlow, and with us as well, former DSA member Jake Altman. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So, Alina, let's start off with you. You are now an outspoken critic of communism. For the young people out there that are romanticizing this notion of equality and that capitalism is the big bad boogeyman, what is your message to them?
Well, my speech started in the last century, so I've been outspoken for a little longer than from now. Well, my message is to discuss and have conversations about what they really know about socialism and communism. I must say that socialism, as stated by Lenin himself, is the first step to communism. So don't get fooled by the changing words or the softness of the words in advocating for democracy, because what they're doing is a very precise agenda that is being a long time on the making. And they receive these instructions or this indoctrination already in the schools. So that's where you need to start, watching what you're learning in school and then think for yourself, because really advocating for something that is obviously has failed so badly in so many countries and had costed so many millions of lives is definitely wrong.
Right. They keep saying, well, it just wasn't done the right way. This time we're going to do it the right way. How many times have we heard that, Alex? I mean, you know, AOC, she's kind of the ringleader of the Democrat Party. They're talking about her running for president. And she was asked by the Washington Examiner about the DSA's goal to abolish the Senate. And she said, quote, in part, I'm a House member. We all hate the Senate. What do you think about, I mean, who would have thought? AOC is kind of almost too mainstream for the DSA.
Yeah, it's interesting. She wants some longevity, I think, in her career, and I think she's probably smart enough to know she's a young person, and a lot of the stuff the DSA is saying, it's going to flame out. This is going to be a fad. It'll be a flash in the pan type movement to some degree. Now, I'm not saying that it won't go on for years. It could go on for years. They could accumulate a lot of power during that time. But these are so anathema to American values. The idea of a Senate comes straight from our founding. And the principle that our states matter, we're literally the United States of America. People can't, you got to remember this, we are literally states. And so if you're going to start disenfranchising certain states and rewriting our founding principles, then there's going to be a lot of resistance, even from people who vote Democrat. She knows this. She's got good polling. She understands this stuff. So it's going to be interesting to watch her walk this tightrope.
You know, Jake, you left the DSA in 2022, and now it's exploding in popularity. Their candidates have already pushed major high-profile Dems out this primary. How dangerous is the DSA for people that maybe say, oh, it's just 120,000 people? What kind of impact could they really make?
Well, they're not a harmless organization at all. As you said, we've seen them have a lot of electoral success. They continue to push. You know, they could very easily win the Michigan, their DSA line candidate could very easily win the Michigan Senate primary here. And they have an extreme agenda, right? These are not the cozy social democrats of Norway and Denmark. These are hardcore communists. It's clear from the governing board of the organization, the majority is explicitly communist. And there are a lot of people out right now from DSA with the whitewash brush trying to hide this. It's just not true. They're being disingenuous.
You know, Alina, even Democrats are getting worried about this socialist swing. I mean, we're showing this woman, Chevalier, that right there, backed by Ma'am Donnie. The woman's never even held a real job. But even CNN's Van Jones, he kind of pushed back on what's happening to the Democrat Party. Take a listen to this.
I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party, my party, telling us that in order for us to be progressives, we now have to believe ideas and support ideas that are completely nuts. What does that have to do with supporting Hamas? What does that have to do with putting up candidates who say we should have no police, no prisons, we can't deport anybody? These are terrible ideas. These are awful ideas. Where did these ideas even come from?
Meantime, Alina, Chuck Schumer, he's not really pushing back. He's staying quiet. Do these I guess now they're kind of in the middle of the road. Democrats, do they kind of fully comprehend that you can't capitulate to these radicals, that if you don't stand up to them, they will take over the entire party?
For sure. And as I repeat, it's been a long time on the making. You have that being structured since the 60s, and it's been indoctrinating, it's been, getting people to their side. It's very well paid, very well organized, and I think it's kind of late, to wake up to what has been happening for such a long time. It's just that we don't go back in history to learn about these processes that always become violently. And that's what we have been seeing. These people are violent. These people take the streets. These people insult you until you got scared. And the purpose is to destabilize the country. It's a very anti-American agenda, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Right, they do. They want to destroy the country. Now, Alex, this is happening just yesterday. Troy Jackson, he won the Democratic nomination in Maine. He claims to not be a socialist, but he did get the endorsement from Maine's DSA chapter. But take a listen to this. Well, concerns about his temper, he threw a plastic water bottle at a female colleague, and there are claims he also committed mortgage fraud. Is this guy any better than Plattner, or did you think he just won because he looks like a regular white guy? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, they keep trying to do this. They keep trying to cast people who are far left socialists but look like normal white guys. That does seem what they're doing. I think we kind of get it. I think we get the move they're trying to make. No, but I was joking earlier this week after I had watched the main debate last weekend, where they had those waves of various odd Democrats like Ashley Webb, the gigantic linebacker-looking male who pretends to be female. I was starting to think maybe Plattner was their best candidate. Maybe we were all wrong. Maybe the best guy they could field is a guy with the Nazi tattoo and a horrible history with women. Maybe that was the best they could do. Now, this guy's not much better, but the main thing is he was an enthusiastic Plattner endorser, and that should be disqualifying flat out right there. Anyone who didn't see that Graham Plattner was a bad guy from the start is someone who shouldn't be in our Senate.
Yeah, these people, these Democratic socialists, they want to ban the police. They talk about socialism, equality for all. Capitalism is a big bad boogeyman. Meantime, this Abdul El-Sayed, he is the Democratic for U.S. Senate candidate in Michigan. His reported total income, Jake, was almost $700,000 in 2025. His father-in-law donated $200,000, right, to the Muslim Brotherhood. What do you make of these candidates? Rules for thee and not for me? Because you wouldn't be having this type of income if not for capitalism.
Exactly. They're total hypocrites. I mean, you see it again and again and again. Incredibly wealthy, the children of college professors, doctors, lawyers. These are not, they're trying to pass these off as working class candidates, and they're just not. It's all a ruse. DSA is trying to push this on people. They're pushing a package of lies.
They certainly are. I want to go back to you, Alex, real quick. What do you think about Mamdani? He's trying to score political points with the Democrat Party by saying he is still wanting to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. And Alan Dershowitz, he was on Newsmax. He said if he even tries to do that, that he could be under arrest. So when did it become really cool and popular to be anti-Israel? Because I think this guy knows. He's an actor, right? He was put up to this. Yeah. He's been trained for this, groomed for this. He knows he doesn't have the legal authority, but he's accomplishing, by us even reporting it, we're falling right into the trap, right? He knows he can't legally do it, but all he wants to do is kind of rally up the base. And we know that the base hates Israel.
Yeah, it is really interesting. The connective tissue is that the Israel-hating anti-Semitic crowd wants to destroy America and our alliance with Israel, and the socialists want to destroy American values. Case in point, we were just talking about with the Senate. That's the only reason why they're connected. But theoretically, socialism and Israel hatred should not be connected. So know that it is a political op. And Mamdani needs to do this stuff because he's falling short on a lot of his promises. He's not ended the homeless encampment sweeps he talked about. He's not made all these city-run grocery stores he promised. He'd make bus fare free. And he promised to arrest Netanyahu. He's not going to be able to do that either. So he's not actually achieving his goals. So he has to say stuff like, we want to arrest Netanyahu to gin up his base. Just note, he was also talking about how socialism is behind libraries, even though libraries existed 3,000 years before socialism. He says all this crazy stuff, and so it's up to us to make fun of him.
Alina, how dangerous is Mamdani? I mean, you look at him, AOC, these people, they look made for TV, good-looking people, great big toothy smiles. Do people understand that this is a coordinated attack on our republic to destroy the country from within?
Well, charisma is the most dangerous attribute in politics. You know that. They can do very badly when your charisma fools everyone. But this is again and again and again been a long time on the making. Schools and university as the preferred place of recruitment of these kinds of people that are going to work for the Communist Party.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Jake Altman, Alina Fernández, and Alex Marlow, thank you guys.
Thank you.